Jameson Williams had a phenomenal week 1 against the LA Rams, which he tore through their defense and finally had that breakout game. Let me just say, he proved a lot of haters wrong. I've been really high on Jameson Williams, and a lot of other people have, especially Lions fans. I've been saying he's going to break out the season. A lot of other Lions fans are really excited, but there's still a lot of other people who watch the league who have been saying Jameson Williams has been a bust, waste of a draft pick, he's not going to be good. And those who were talking all that nonsense are finally gone. People don't realize how much Jameson Williams has really been through to get to this point. Tore his ACL in the championship game, came to the NFL, pretty much missed his whole rookie season, had that incredible touchdown against the Vikings. That was insane. And then week 18, when the Lions took on the Packers to get into the playoffs, but then the refs and the Seahawks, never mind all that. Jameson Williams had that incredible 60-yard plus touchdown that was called back on some phantom holding call. Of course, Green Bay, refs, Lambeau, what do you expect? And it's crazy. Williams does it in all the big games. Week 18 against the Packers, he does this. Against the Cowboys, he has an insanely long reception. Against the 49ers, he has the end around for the touchdown to start the game. Williams is going to be our playmaker when we play these top teams and in the deep playoff games. He's like Brad Holmes' secret weapon, except now he's not a secret weapon anymore. But he's still unstoppable. Also, if you remember, in 2022, Williams' stat line read 1 reception for 41 yards and a touchdown, when it should have been 2 receptions for 2 touchdowns and 106 yards, because that one against the Packers should have counted. But all the people that were saying J-Mo was a bust and he's trash, and just look at his stats, were you paying attention? He's coming back off that torn ACL, and then last year was pretty much his rookie season, and then he gets suspended for 6 games. His speed is obviously his best quality. He just dusts any defender, great route runner. He's building a really good chemistry with Goff, which I'll get into. The only thing about Williams, which I was a little nervous for, was his catching. He catches with his chest a lot. I don't know if it's good or bad. I just know that I've seen him drop quite a few with catching with his chest. However, that was just last season. It was his rookie year. Really, the only game where he had a ton of targets was against the Ravens, and that was just garbage time. The Lions just sent out Gibbs and J-Mo just to get some reps in because it was both their rookie year. I wasn't worried it was going to be a big problem. I knew he just needed that experience on the field. I just thought maybe he would just drop some here or there. It might not have the catch percentage as Amon-Ra, but he looked phenomenal against the Rams. And I always bring up that catch against the 49ers in the back of the end zone. I know they weren't going to win that game, but still, playoff, NFC Championship, late game, the 49ers aren't going to let anything slide because they want to win that game. That's a great catch. And the deep balls last year were phenomenal. The one against Dallas was so big. J-Mo is a big-time player because he's also scored the end around at the beginning of the 49ers game, the NFC Championship. I mean, he's a playmaker, and that's what I've been saying this season. Jameson Williams is going to be the face of the Lions offense. And it's also really important. NFL teams need that deep threat, in my opinion. They just need it. And a lot of teams aren't having their quarterback throw deep whatsoever. And everything is within 10 yards. And it's a 3rd down and 5. And they throw it 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's like, what? But the Lions, they have that deep threat. And they're not afraid to use them. Goff throws it deep to J-Mo. They draw up those plays. And Goff's connection with J-Mo is phenomenal. And all offseason, J-Mo kept talking himself up. He goes, I'm going for number 1 in the NFL and receiving and touchdown, something like that. And when a player has that much confidence, it's kind of hard not to be like, all right, he's going to be good. It'd be kind of crazy for him to say things like that and then just not be good whatsoever. So that just boosted my confidence in saying that I think J-Mo's going to break out this year. And I knew he was going to be a big part of the offense. And when he had that confidence, that just made me believe even more that he's going to come out there week 1 and catch a bunch of passes because he's talking like that. He's definitely Goff's game plan. Then he's pure wide receiver too, and it happened. Amon-Ra St. Brown did not have near as big a night as J-Mo did. The only thing I wonder is, were the Rams defense just had a big game plan to stop St. Brown? Was that their biggest worry in the passing game? Or was it Laporta? I'm just a little curious about that. Was Jameson Williams targeted so much because that was the game plan? Or is that just how it's going to be going forward? I think it's just going to be how it's going forward. That's just the type of thing. J-Mo's that good. He's getting open. Goff is finding them. They have a great connection. There was so much hype throughout the preseason. We just kept hearing things. How good J-Mo's been at practice. Him catching the footballs. He's getting psyched up. He has a great mindset. I predict that J-Mo will lead the Lions in wide receiving yards this season. And it's funny, Xavier Worthy is literally a clone of Jameson Williams. J-Mo did the end around first. J-Mo did the end around better. And listen to this. This is crazy. Jameson Williams caught 5 of his 6 targets for a career high 121 yards against the Rams. Phenomenal game. On each reception by Jameson Williams, he had more than 3 yards of separation, giving him the most yards in receptions on open targets in a game in his career. That's phenomenal. The 3 yards of separation on every single reception is crazy. His top speed of the game was 21 miles per hour in the second quarter on the 36-yarder, and Williams had a 20-plus mile per hour speed, so speeds over 20 miles per hour on nearly 15% of his touches last year. That was the highest rate in the NFL. And I think that's just props to Ben Johnson. To me, again, this just proves Jameson Williams is a playmaker. When the ball's in his hand, he makes crazy things happen. We saw the touchdowns last year, this year, the deep balls, and to anyone that says Goff can't throw the deep ball, it's crazy how well he connects with Jameson Williams. But no, Goff can't throw the deep ball. And what were people saying? Matthew Stafford definitely outperformed Jared Goff on Sunday night. Jared Goff, he had an all right performance. What were those interceptions? Like, are y'all serious? Goff was great. There was just the one ball he couldn't land in J-Mo's chest. That was unlucky. Good play in the DB there. He found J-Mo in stride a ton. Found him deep. And the pick on St. Brown, that's just a good play in the DB. St. Brown just ran into him. It was a really lucky catch as well. Some people thought it hit the ground. I'm not too sure if it hit the ground or not. I think Goff had a great game and Stafford had a great game too. The difference, Stafford, all of his were checkdowns. He didn't really throw it down the field very much. He's getting it out quick against the Lions defensive line. And Dan Campbell said that the Lions defensive line wouldn't have gotten a sack against a high school offensive line because that's how fast Stafford was getting the ball out and that we were too slow. And honestly, I think that's a bit of an over-exaggeration, a bit just kind of like, come on, we got to be even faster just for the Lions to be better. Because I honestly think their defensive line played really good against Stafford, getting pressure. We did miss some sacks, which is unlucky. It was 17-3, though, and I said the Lions would blow them out. If Goff doesn't throw that pick there, Lions have a good chance to really take control of the rest of the game, and it's not as close as you think, and Rams fans are sad. Instead, Lions had to come back, win in overtime. However, at the end of the game, they were just doing their own thing. I also think the Lions kind of came out a bit rusty. They weren't really as explosive as I saw them in the playoffs. I feel like this was like a playoff caliber game, and that's another thing. These Lions keep playing these big games, and they're getting more comfortable every single day, every practice, every game. They play the Bucs again, and that's going to be a playoff level game because it's another rematch. They just played. They played the Bucs. This is their third time playing them the last year and a half now. Or rather, just honestly, the last year probably because they played him like week 3 or 4 last year. Anyway, I think Jameson Williams has 10 plus total touchdowns, over 1,000 yards, leads the Lions in total yards. He's a weapon. He's insane. He's destroying the league. I cannot wait to watch him all year long. Us Lions fans are blessed, and to anyone that doubted this man, you're crazy.